Once upon a time, in the warm, sparkling river near the village of Njoro, there lived a beautiful mermaid named Oma. She was the youngest daughter of Omi, the mighty goddess of the sea. Oma had a voice so melodious that even the fishes would pause to listen, and her laughter was said to bring calm to the wildest storms. One sunny afternoon, Oma swam to the surface to bask in the warmth of the sun. As she played with the waves, she heard the sound of drums and singing drifting from the shore. Curious, she swam closer to see what was happening. On the beach, she saw a handsome young man, Prince Obina, who was celebrating his birthday with his friends. He danced with such grace and joy that Oma was instantly captivated by him. The rhythm of the drums matched the beating of her heart, and she found herself mesmerized by the lively music and the vibrant colors of the celebration. The prince's smile was radiant, his movements were as fluid and natural as the sea itself, and his laughter echoed like the sweetest melody. Hidden behind a rock, Oma watched him for hours, feeling a connection to him that she had never felt before. She whispered to the waves, "Oh, how I wish to be part of his world, even if just for a moment." As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the water, Prince Obina wandered closer to the edge of the sea, as if drawn by an invisible force. Oma's heart raced. She wanted to call out to him but feared revealing her true form. Instead, she sang a soft, haunting melody that floated on the evening breeze. Prince Obina paused, entranced by the song, and gazed out at the ocean, searching for the source of the beautiful voice. For a moment, their eyes met, and in that instant, an unspoken bond formed between the mermaid and the prince. Prince Obina started falling in love with Oma that he becomes increasingly happy in the palace whenever he remembers Oma. Every day after that, Oma returned to the shore to watch Prince Obina. One day, as he walked along the beach alone, he heard her singing. Mesmerized by her voice, he followed the sound until he saw her sitting on a rock, her shimmering tail gleaming in the sunlight. "Who are you?" he asked, unable to take his eyes off her. "I am Oma, daughter of Omi," she replied. "And who are you?" "I am Obina, the prince of this kingdom," he said. "I have never heard such a beautiful voice in all my life." As the days passed, Prince Obina and Oma met by the shore and their friendship blossomed into love. They talked about their dreams, their hopes, and the different worlds they came from. Obina marveled at the tales Oma told of the underwater kingdom, and Oma was fascinated by the stories of life on land. They laughed together, shared their fears, and found solace in each other's company. But they both knew their love faced an insurmountable challenge. He was a human, and she was a mermaid. They could not ignore the boundaries of their worlds. Obina wished he could join Oma in the sea, while Oma longed to walk on land by his side. One evening, as they watched the sunset over the horizon, Oma whispered, "There must be a way for us to be together." Obina took her hand, his eyes filled with determination. "I will do whatever it takes, Oma. Our love is worth any sacrifice." Torn between their love and the realities of their existence, they vowed to find a way to be together, no matter what obstacles lay ahead. Little did they know their resolve would soon be tested by forces they could not foresee. Please, subscribe to our channel for more stories. Prince Obina and Oma fell deeply in love. They met in secret, sharing stories and dreams by the riverbank. However, not everyone in the village was pleased with the prince's frequent absences and mysterious behavior. Edeora, a woman from the village who had long harbored feelings for Obina, grew increasingly jealous and suspicious. She followed him one evening and witnessed the enchanting rendezvous between the prince and the mermaid. As she watched from the shadows, her heart filled with bitterness, and she vowed to put an end to their forbidden love. Edeora couldn't bear the thought of Obina loving someone else, especially a creature from the river. She returned to the village, her mind racing with schemes to expose their secret. Knowing that the villagers held deep-seated fears and superstitions about the river spirits, she decided to use these fears to her advantage. The next morning, Edeora went to the king, her eyes filled with faint concern. "Your Majesty," she said, bowing low, "I bring troubling news. Our beloved prince has been bewitched by a river spirit. I saw it with my own eyes. He meets her in secret by the river every night." The king, startled by this revelation, summoned his advisors to discuss the matter. The elders whispered among themselves, their faces grave. They spoke of ancient tales where river spirits lured men to their doom. The king, fearing for his son's safety and the village's well-being, decided to act swiftly. "Prepare the warriors," the king commanded. "We must capture this spirit and break her hold over Obina." Edeora, hiding a smile of triumph, watched as the king's orders were carried out. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the warriors hid along the riverbank. Obina and Oma arrived, unaware of the impending danger. Oma sang her usual song and they spoke of their dreams, oblivious to the watchful eyes surrounding them. Suddenly, the warriors leaped from their hiding places, casting nets enchanted with charms that bound Oma's powers. Obina struggled to free Oma, but he was overpowered. Oma was put in the cage and dragged to the palace. The king approached the cage, his eyes narrowing as he studied the mermaid. "Is it true?" he asked, looking at his son. "Have you fallen under her spell?" Obina, his face bruised and his clothes torn from the struggle, stepped forward. "Father, she has not bewitched me. Oma is my true love. She has brought blessings to our land and asked for nothing in return. Please, release her." The king's gaze shifted from his son to the mermaid. "And what do you say, spirit of the river? Why have you come to our land?" Oma lifted her head, her voice calm and clear. "I came because of my love for Obina. Our words are different, but our hearts are the same. I seek no harm, only to be with him and to bring peace and prosperity to your people." The villagers murmured among themselves, torn between their fear of the unknown and their respect for the prince's plea. Edeora, watching from the crowd, felt a pang of guilt but clung to her jealousy and fear. The king raised his hand for silence. "This is a matter of great importance," he declared. "We cannot make a hasty decision. I will consult the elders and the village council. Until then, the mermaid will remain imprisoned." Obina protested, but the king's decision was final. He was led away, his heart heavy with worry for Oma. As the crowd dispersed, whispers of the prince's forbidden love and the captured mermaid spread like wildfire through the village. That night, Obina sat alone in his room, staring at the moonlit sky, his thoughts consumed with plans to free Oma. He knew he had to find a way to prove their love and convince his father and the villagers that Oma was not their enemy. Please subscribe to our channel for more stories. In the days that followed, the village was abuzz with debates and speculations. The elders met in the council hut, discussing the mermaid's fate. Some argued for her release, believing in the prince's love and the blessings she brought. Others, fueled by fear and superstition, insisted on her punishment. Obina, determined to save Oma, sought the help of an old wise woman who lived on the outskirts of the village. She was known for her knowledge of both the human world and the mystical realm. He found her sitting by a fire, her eyes wise and knowing. "Wise one," Obina said, bowing respectfully, "I seek your counsel. How can I prove that Oma and I are meant to be together, and that she means no harm to our village?" The wise woman looked at him thoughtfully. "True love is a powerful force, stronger than any magic. To prove it, you must show the villagers and the king that your love can bring unity and prosperity. There is an ancient ritual, one that binds hearts and words. If you and Oma perform this ritual, the spirits will bless your union, and no one can deny your love." She explained the ritual, a sacred ceremony involving offerings to the river spirits and a pledge of eternal love under the full moon. Obina thanked her and hurried to prepare. When the night of the full moon arrived, Obina and Oma were brought to the river, guarded by warriors and watched by the villagers. The king, standing at the riverbank, looked at his son with a mixture of hope and doubt. Obina and Oma stood at the water's edge, their hands clasped tightly. They performed the ritual as the wise woman had instructed, offering gifts to the river and speaking vows of love and unity. The moonlight shimmered on the water, and a gentle breeze whispered through the trees. As they completed the ritual, the river began to glow with a soft, ethereal light. The villagers gasped in awe as the water rose, forming a protective circle around Obina and Oma. The spirits of the river, their voices like a melodious chorus, blessed their union. Oma's tail transformed into legs, allowing her to stand beside Obina as a human. The villagers, witnessing this miraculous transformation, cheered and sang praises. The king, moved by the power of their love and the blessings of the spirits, embraced his son, and welcomed Oma as his daughter. Prince Obina and Oma were married in a grand celebration, their love bridging the gap between the human world and the mystical realm of the river spirits. The village of Njoro prospered under the blessings of the river, and the legend of the mermaid and the prince became a cherished tale of love, unity, and the magic that binds all beings.